I found out my 35M girlfriend, 31F, has a filthy house after we started dating. Help. Basic headline. I started dating her roughly a week ago. We hit it off wonderfully. Before we met up, we checked off all of our deal breakers. We have a great connection, lots of things in common. She invited me over to her house tonight and her house was filthy. I'm not talking about messy and clutter. I'm talking about laziness. Hasn't ran the sweeper in what looks to be about a year. Her cat litters overflowing and spilling into the floor. With cat turds and the entire house smells like piss and cigarettes. I am in no way a person that has to have everything in a place. I'm messy and have clutter. But this is so gross. There is no way I could tell her this. I don't think I'd ever have the courage to say this bothers me. I mean, is this connection worth me looking past it or even attempting to muster the words? She's in the process of moving, but I feel like the next house will look the same. To top it off, I told her prior to coming over that I would hold some stuff for her because she didn't have space for 2 weeks until she moves. Now I have her items in my car. Any help is appreciated. This is 100% real, and I'm in shock. You only dated her for a week, so I suggest that you break up with her. Have you watched Hoarders? Don't look past it. It's a health issue, both physical and mental. It's a deal breaker. It's great you found out so early in the relationship. Nope. You lost me at the cat shit. That's not just a temporary, oh, I haven't had a chance to clean this week. That's gross and disgusting and just a regular week for her. Run. Now. I would run. She thinks it's okay to live like that. Just imagine how your house would look if you lived together. Run, you fool. Gandalf the Grey. I dated a guy in my early 20s for about a month or so. He was a great dresser, smelled nice, funny, outgoing. All around a great guy until he invited me over to his place. He was 100% a hoarder. Like the trash, garbage, junk kind. No working refrigerator, yet rotten food and dirty dishes all over the place. Dirty ass bathroom with debris piled up everywhere. Jizz Kleenex. And black mold like I've never seen. I was honestly in shock. I could tell he was embarrassed. He kept saying that I'll probably never see him again. And he was right. Looking back, I do feel bad that I essentially dumped him for a mental disorder, but deep down these types of people have this issue deep rooted and it's very unlikely to change, and I'm not sure I can coexist with someone like that. This is learned behavior. She probably grew up in filthy conditions. It's sad, but this is going to be a lifelong issue. Run from her or be prepared to always budget for house cleaners if you stay with her. Forgive me for focusing on the cat for a moment, but this is Reddit. Is there a local service you can report the conditions of that poor cat to? Animal control or something? Woof. This is awful. The part which is most frightening is she let you over without a thought about it. Yikes. Run. How much of her stuff is in your car? Did she have a roommate by any case and her messy roommate is why she's moving? Did she apologize for the mess at all? When did you become GF, BF? Have you really only known her for 1 week? Keep her stuff away from your place. No telling what she might have in her things, from bedbugs to scabies. I'd clean that car within an inch of its life once her stuff is gone. Watch Ross and the Dirty Girl on YouTube, it's hilarious. It is gross and unsanitary to live in filth. Why on earth can't you tell her? Sorry. I really like you, but your living situation is a deal breaker for me. Yes, run. Run far away. If it's this way and she is 31, it won't change. She probably grew up thinking this was okay, and it takes years and years of reprogramming to break that cycle. I'm one of the fortunate ones. To her this is normal. Period. If you're grossed out about what you just described, just wait until she makes that special dinner for you and expects you to eat it. Just imagine cat fecal spores landing in the mashed potatoes and gravy, and cat hair and cobwebs as are the toppings for the cheesecake. I'd return her items and just be honest. Maybe that'll be her wake-up call. Only been dating a week and you actually stayed in that house and continued to hang out. I would have saw that litter box and knocked the fuck out of there faster than you can blink your eyes. Run. Now. As harsh as it is, make sure you tell her that the breakup is due to her disgusting house. It will help her in the future. Maybe. Depression. Undiagnosed ADD. Dude, just roll with it for a week until you can offload her stuff. Be busy. Be booked out. Get a mysterious but definitely contagious tummy bug and avoid her until you have a set time and location for dropping off the stuff. Or if you're selling it for her, can you lie? Say it's sold. Give her cash and then blow her off. Then sell her stuff in your own time. I suggest you tell her why you're breaking it off. She may have some issues or whatever and not realize this isn't normal. She won't change how she is. Imagine marrying her. Here's the thing. Plenty of people have advised you to end the relationship. But I also want to bring to your attention that she invited you over for the first time and this was what she allowed for you to see. Usually when people are in the early stages of relationships, they are trying to impress their new SOs. So this is the time they are extra tidy, put more effort into their appearance, eat healthier during dinner dates, etc. The fact that she was nonchalant about letting you see her house in this state is a huge red flag in my opinion. I would not absolutely not date someone who is okay with living in literal filth. Clutter. Being busy and not doing the dishes from the night before, having a hamper of laundry, evidence of life in the house is okay. This is not. Good luck op. In the process of moving, excuses boxes and clutter. It does not excuse cat waste overflowing because she can't take the time to scoop litter. That shows she is not concerned about her health or her animals' well-being, either. People who live like that are unlikely to change. I would get out now before emotions get attached, honestly. Or accept this is your future lol. Good thing it's only been a week. Nope out of that and move on. She thought it was okay for you to see that. In the early part of the relationship. I'm also a cluttery person, but I'd be embarrassed to bring someone over if there were dishes in my sink. Piles of books and art supplies. Sorry, that's how I live. But poop? Nope. This happened to my current husband. Things ended after he called her up and told her to give the cat away she clearly was neglecting. She started to shout at him. He hung up the phone, never looked back. According to him, that was a giant red flag that he just could not ignore. You shouldn't either. Maybe call someone about her neglecting the poor cats. Sad face. EW. I have a friend like this. She has horrible depression. Helped her clean up her apartment and move her into her new place. Only took her a few weeks to make the new house the same. It ain't gonna change. Bail. Are you in therapy at all? I'd suggest it given your relationship history. It seems like you have a pattern in dating women with some heavy mental health struggles. Yeah, no. She's 31 and her house is looking like that. This is her lifestyle. I would suggest breaking up with her. Run. Just run. It's a problem. Her poor cat. As for you, just be glad it was only a week. I think there are some serious mental health issues in play if your state of living gets to a point like this. It's sad, but I wouldn't voluntarily take on a burden like that for someone I just met. Deal breaker. She wouldn't have invited you over if she was ashamed. She's not. Break it off. You have only 1 week invested. It will never get better. Ever. You can tell her your long-lost love showed up. Your wife found out. You're being transferred. Do you smoke? Because cigarette smoke is a deal breaker for me. Allergy to cats? Or you could try the truth. Good luck. You can say, I like spending time with you, but the condition of your house is a deal breaker for me. If she sounds like she wants to fix herself, send her to this helpful website on your way out the door. Leave her. Been there. Major psychological problems, although very attractive and adventurous. Ended in a shit show. Run, run, run. You should tell her early. It will be too late once you live together. You hit it off with her and there is a connection. If addressing it isn't worth the drama, it really means the connection isn't worth more than the conflict. Cut your losses. But, if she is hygienic, and can take care of herself, it isn't a stretch. She has the ability to change, or at the very least before you ghost on her, tell her why. She deserves to know the truth, and maybe by the next guy or two she might clean up her act, at least the cat shit. I mean, is this connection worth me looking past it? You know her for a week. You barely know each other. And you are already helping, suggesting her with storing her stuff. Did you two become BF, GF as soon as you started seeing each other? Or is that just a term you're using for the girl you started dating? There's not much help we need to give you. This is a deal breaker for you. then just end the relationship. I mean, I would honestly talk to her about it, just so she knows. Maybe she has lived that way for a long time by the sounds of it and may not be in a good space. She may also be in denial about it all. She may also genuinely think it's not so bad by the sounds of it, if she just invited you over and didn't bother to clean. Still, don't leave her in denial if that is where she is. Just be honest and tell her it's gross. I couldn't do it. If I walked into a home like that, an emergency would happen and I would have to leave immediately. There wouldn't even be a discussion because that is a lifetime of dirty habits. I'm not changing nobody. It's possible she's going through a bad time and fighting with depression. If you feel up to it, talk to her, otherwise break it off. Honestly, it sounds like it's a mental disorder, illness. Some people in severe depression just stop trying to clean their surroundings. But if she looks very clean in contrast to her house, then she's probably a hoarder or an overly lazy person. Yeah, you should break up with her since you're not madly in love with her and it's only been a week. Especially if she didn't warn you about it when you discussed deal breakers, cause it could mean she's completely unaware of how bad this is. 1 week in, how are you certain of anything? At this point she is just a prospect really, and if this is a deal breaker then so be it. This reminds me of an episode of Seinfeld lol. That's a tough one. Some people need motivation. Depression is usually a clear indicator of this behavior. See if it changes over the months and help her arrange her stuff. I would give it some time before coming to a conclusion. I would say do tell her that the reason you don't want to continue is the state of her house, that it is not just cluttered but also filthy, and a health hazard. That you don't see a future with someone who lives in conditions like that. It might open her eyes to the mess, and she can improve on her own. And at the very least you were honest instead of ghosting her and making up excuses. A house that bad is a hazard, and should not be tiptoed around in conversation. Run.